Well, good morning. We've had a week to heal whatever little nicks and bruises that we've had, and also do a little conditioning on the side. We did not give the guys a completely off week. We gave them 2 days off last week, Tuesday and Thursday. We conditioned on Friday and Saturday and had a full-fledged practice on yesterday. So we're back in game mood right now.
Kind of a testament to what you preach. You know, you guys got off to a rocky start. Just keep fighting, keep believing. You never know what's going to happen, how things are going to play out.
Well, a testament to the players and the coaches. We went in, we was 1-4, and we said we could only take one game at a time, and they literally have done that. And same way with this week, we're looking at it in the same text that we have over the last 6 weeks. One game at a time, and only do what you're capable of doing. Take care of yourself, and it worked out pretty good for us to be in this position at this particular time.
When did you find out on Prairie View scored?
It was crazy.
You disappeared. Did you go check on it?
I actually forgot that Prairie View and Alabama A&M was playing on Saturday, because I was at the basketball game and had no idea. Not that I have idea, but it wasn't on my mind at that time, because I probably was thinking the next week. And Scotty came to me and say it's 14-0 A&M, and by that time my heart said, "Oop, I forgot." And with about 9 minutes left in the basketball game, I decided to leave because I couldn't take it no more. And as I was riding, I got a text. Somebody said it was 17-14, 17-15. And I said, here we go again, and I forgot about it. And next thing I know, I got a call that says 17-15. PV just fumbled on the 2. And I'm thinking it was on Alabama A&M 2, but it was on there. So then they said it was kneeling on the ball, the next text said. So I felt pretty good at that point that, we have an opportunity here that these guys have created over the last 5 weeks.
You talked about the last time the bye week coming at a good time. Now looking back at it, how do you feel with all the momentum you've built? And did this one come at a good time as well?
Well, thing about it, we knew this bye week was going to be here, regardless of what happened. The bye week we had early, we didn't think we'd be 1-4. I think that's the difference. In the bye week, we had an opportunity mentally and physically to really rethink where we were and how we had to get where we are today, and I think it worked to our advantage. This bye week also, I think, it helped us to relax a little more and think on how we got here and continue to do the things that we did in order to get here. So I don't think this bye week is as crucial as last bye week because of where we were at that time.
With a lot of young guys on your roster this year, I mean, it's easy to get caught up in the hype of the Bayou Classic, especially with a lot of meaning to this game. Not only is it a historic game, how are you trying to get them to not get caught up in everything? Well,
the good part about this situation now, you see the older guys who've been here before and has really taken the bull by the horn, per se, taking the lead. And I think in this run that we've had over the last 6 weeks, I think the older guys has really taken the young guys by the hand and say, follow me. So therefore, I'm not worried about the hype as much as the emotion of the whole team going in. This is one of the biggest rivalry in all of college football. And we both know you got one team playing to go to the championship and the other team playing for respect more than anything. So you got a lot of emotion tied up in this Saturday football game. It's going to be left up to us as coaches to try to get over the emotions early and get the football.
What are some of your fondest memories of the Bayou Classic?
Oh, I got a lot of them. My first one is walking out the dressing room in Tulane Stadium in 1974 and in front of 76,000 fans. Little country boy from Zachary, Louisiana, playing at Grambling and 76,000 in the stadium. Damn near scared to death. I was fortunate that I had the Sammy Whites and the Dwight Scales and the people like that playing with me, and it helped me get over all that emotion.
What was the coach? Are there any different memories there?
Yeah, you know what? We've been involved in some tough games, a lot of tough losses, and then the one that stands out more to me is the one that Scotty Anderson was posing in the end zone like the Heisman, and the ball hit him in the chest and bounced to the ground. That probably would make different in the football game. And my last year here in 03, when it was like a track meet out there, and it was almost like Coach Rob used to always say was, the last to draw was the first to die. And we were the last to draw because we didn't have the ball last.
How much do you think about him on a week like this?
Well, you got to think about Coach Rob and College J. Anytime you talk about the Bayou Classic, and I don't know whether we do him as much justice as both of those guys as they deserve, because it would be no Bayou Classic, I don't think, if it was not for College J and Coach Robinson. It would be just a home and home. It would be one of those situations like us being the home team, in one of them situations that it would be one of them tickets you couldn't get this week at Grambling, and it'd be the same thing when we go to Southern. But the good part about this is, nationally, this game has been great for the two institutions, and we can credit all that to those two guys. And Bayou Classic, when you think of Bayou Classic, you should think about Eddie Robinson and College J.
As you break down Southern, what just makes them so dangerous in a game like this?
They've made some plays. I mean, when you look at the games that they've lost and some of the games that they won, they beat Alabama A&M. They came close to Jackson. They beat Alabama State. And, they make some plays. They got a couple of guys that you can't afford to let them get from behind you. They got a quarterback that can scramble. They got some linebackers at DB and a pretty good secondary. They got a guy coaching the secondary who at one time was the defensive coordinator in the National Football League, and Donnie Henderson. So they know the game, and I'm sure watching our tape, they know what's been good to us, and they concentrate on taking that away. And that's why it's important that all our guys got to make plays. And if we do that, we'll be fine.
Talked about not getting caught up in the emotions. You talked about how you felt when you found out Prairie View lost that game. What were the guys like coming in yesterday as they got back to work after knowing that result?
Well, I tell you what, yesterday was one of the best practices that we've had in a long time, and I think that's the good thing about these guys is they've been that way when we was 1-4. When we off that bye week, they have not changed their MO as far as working hard, and that's why I say from a character standpoint, this team has shown a lot of character. And to me, I think the most important thing about this season is not the game that's coming up, but to know that at the end of the day, we'll have a winning season considering where we was after 5 weeks.
Just with the adversity that you guys have shown all year long, how does that help the younger guys going into the future?
Well, I think number one, show them that you can overcome adversity. And, we've had the adversity of not winning, but it hadn't been any adversity among the players in the dressing room, in the meeting room. No adversity as to that, but, Grambling losing the way we was losing earlier, that's an adversity in itself. It's something that, you can't get used to. And then these kids, maybe they don't understand it. Hopefully they don't, but whatever they did and whatever they thought, they found a way to overcome what we was going through the first 5 weeks to be where we are today.
So they give you confidence they can handle the hype that Hobie mentioned for this week?
I do. We've been in a couple of games where emotions high from the first game against Alcorn, the Jackson State situation, even 2 weeks ago against Texas Southern. It was one of those hype games, and our guys have done fairly well, and we kind of help them with it a little bit because when we come out and we warm up, we do not face the other team. We basically face the end zone. And in that way, they don't get a chance to look and see what's going on down the other end because it don't matter to us. We getting ready to play a football game.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, you guys really didn't have a lot of home games this year, but you got to play in the big venues. How is that going to help them with the atmosphere involved?
Well, we've had 4 home games, and fortunately we 3-1. Would have loved to have been undefeated. At home we have done that. We've been there already. But playing this venue, we played in Dallas. I think mentally they already know that they're going to play in 2 big venues each year. And that's going to be in Dallas, and that's going to be in the Bayou Classic. And if we're fortunate enough to schedule other games with Division I schools, they get a chance to do that. So I don't think the venue make a difference because we preach not the venue, we preach the the football field and not control the bleachers and things like that.
What makes them go on offense, Doug? What do they do?
Well, you know, Stump is a West Coast protege, and they're gonna try to run the football, and they're gonna throw a lot of intermediate passes, and every now and then they're gonna try to hit you big, you know, and try to set you up with the intermediate route to hit you with the big ones. You know, that's what they do.
Like quarterback, what's their?
Their quarterback.
Yeah, how?
He's a freshman, you know, and JP has played fairly well. But they do have a sophomore kid, the Joseph kid, Drake Joseph, you know, and it's so ironic. His daddy played baseball here at Grambling, and Greg and I graduated at the same time. And his son playing quarterback at Southern. I mean, but that's the way it goes. And he was out with a concussion, I think, last week. But he should be back this week. Now, whether or not he starts, I don't know. But they really like the freshman kid in JP.
Does this game, because of all the hype and emotions, Doug, does it just turn quickly on a big play, doesn't it? I mean, you can't gauge it by the records or anything, can you?
Records don't count in this game. It's irrelevant because of the emotions that are tied to it and the legacy and the rivalry over the years. Nobody cares about how many games you won before you get to the Bayou Classic. It boils down to who wants to win this football game. I think that's where we are at this point.
I guess you hear from that from the fans. Just beat Southern.
You hear them beat Southern, the other fans say beat Grambling, you know, and I think it's no different than, you know, most rivalries and most fans really get caught up in one game, and we as coaches, we get caught up in the whole schedule, but we also know the importance of the Bayou Classic. But at the end of the day, we would like to end up in Birmingham.